the pie, and don't be afraid of the dark. At the end of a storm, there's a golden sky and the sweet silver sound of a lark.
It's fantastic. They're great.
They're the best team. Really enjoy the atmosphere.
Built on its past. Success.
Some Liverpool is cool.
It's your lifestyle. It's the clothes you wear, what you're interested in, the music you listen to, everything like that. So it's more than just a sport.
Clear for Liverpool. Gerrard. Oh, it's a wonderful run! Gerrard! It's fluid for Liverpool from Steven Gerrard. I don't think Arsenal will be happy with the mark engaging the ball, but this is absolute perfection. Manning got absolutely no chance. Beautifully controlled.
Basically, beyond the sheer entertainment from any sport, generally it's a more intense experience than the NFL and all that. So, an excuse to drink, but mostly, you know, living vicariously through certain of members of Britain's sporting elite, I would say.
Growing up, one of my best friends that I played soccer with, his grandmother actually was from Liverpool, so I would go to his house and we would watch soccer before games and stuff like that, and they always had Liverpool games on, so I just kind of picked it up from there as I started becoming a fan.
All right, and how has that developed over the years?
I mean, as I got older, I got more serious about it. I started following it a lot more, things like that. I mean, and now it's a pretty important part of my life. I definitely follow it all the time. You know, it's just kind of something that I can connect to and I can always be aware of.
Actually, there's no real specific reason. I went on a trip to England as a high schooler, and a bunch of us just picked jerseys, and I happened to pick Liverpool. But when I read the history and some of the interesting things about Liverpool, it's actually a very deep club that has a lot more to offer than just soccer or football, whatever you want to call it. So.
All right, what are some of those things that you found interesting about the club?
Well, they're one of the most successful clubs. They have the most European victory or cup wins out of anyone in England. They're the second most domestic titles. They weren't necessarily the strongest team until about the 60s, which I thought was cool. And then just one manager came in and changed the whole way that the club was run. And since him, the club itself just changed, and there was a Liverpool way, quote unquote, about how you deal with players and the fans and everything, and it sounded really like a good thing.
What do you do when you watch the games?
Well, when I was in London, I'd like to go to the pub and have a pint, which is kosher at 11 a.m. Of course, not over here, but
a little day drinking.
Yeah. Now I just sit in front of my TV and get worked up and yell and throw things, but in general. But as for losses, I mean, it'll definitely temper my mood for a couple days. So like any other sporting event, I suppose.
Okay, so yeah, you mentioned you throw things. Have you broken any?
I broke a little chair once. Had to replace that one, but
And maybe a couple fights will break out.
Well, depends on what part of London I'm in.
Yeah.
Because as one of the most historical clubs, it's kind of hard watching the team sometimes because there's so much riding on a game, even though if it's just like a team that's supposed to be bad, like you have to like win. And when you see like games and you're losing when you should win, it's really frustrating. And there's just a lot of emotion behind really every single match, and you can tell like in the fans if you're watching, like the songs that they sing, like especially the club anthem, "You'll Never Walk Alone." Like when you're listening to that, it's just this overwhelming feeling of like community, I guess.
I mean, there's so many reasons. I mean, we obviously are much more intelligent about the game. I mean, I've talked to some Everton fans, and they have absolutely no clue what's even going on in the sport. I'm actually studying abroad in London next semester, so it'll be pretty fun to talk some trash to some Everton fans, because in my opinion, they have absolutely no clue what's going on. I mean, we have a better package, better stadium, better uniforms, better understanding of the game. We've got better players. I mean, the fans get into it more. It's just more knowledge.
Nowhere. They can go suck my, use that word, but you know, they suck. That's all I gotta say.
Well, they've seen their team through, you know, an enormous trophy haul, and Everton couldn't even come close to saying that, I don't think. Not to mention they're basically, you know, create an atmosphere that explodes upon almost every win. They've got 10 times more tradition.
When you walk through a storm, hold your head up high and don't be afraid of the dark. At the end of a storm,